updates. I'm like, oh my God, that could not have been in any worse timing. So let me take a deep breath. Here we go. Thank you for joining us for our second town hall meeting of the year. In spite of the adversity that we have faced over the past few months, we can now see a finish line, at least as school is related. Of course, we would like to have finished our school year in a more traditional pattern. There's a lot of rich traditions and celebrations that are typical that take place at the end of a school year. We're going to try to recreate some of those tonight. So, similar to our last town hall, we will move through some quick updates. I'll let you know what I know so that we can help keep you informed and you can stay connected with Summit. And following our virtual graduation ceremony, we will answer any questions that you may have. Please place those questions in the chat box below, and we have a moderator that will help read those questions out loud when we get to the end, and then we'll try to figure out if we have all the answers here tonight. Now I'll give you some updates. We'll move through these pretty quickly. You should have received a survey in your email yesterday. We're going to ask and encourage you to fill that out as soon as you can, because some of your feedback we will use to make some modifications and some changes within the next school year. So your feedback of what we did well, areas that we may need to improve upon, but your feedback is crucial as we go forward and make those decisions. So please do return your survey when you can. Summer camps, we have moved a small portion of our summer camps online. Our academic literacy camp will begin on June 8th. It'll be taught by our own Miss Sue. We will have Miss Rachel will lead the Great Summit Bake Off in June as well. We're also adding Spanish, music theater, and math camp. We'll all start at the end of June and beginning of July, so look for those. Don't forget that we still have our tutoring services. If you want to help fill in some of those gaps that may have been missed during the school year, we do have our tutoring services available, and they're all online as well. So I'd encourage you to check that out. All this information can be found on our website. So please visit the website if you need some more information, or just send us an email and we'll get right back to you. Next school year, what's happening with the next school year? And my answer is, I don't know. Our governor has not laid the groundwork for what next school year will look like. And we are going to obviously take the advice of the Department of Health, Department of Education, and our state's governor when we make those decisions. So in preparation for what may be at least a partial return to online learning, our teachers are going to undergo some pretty extensive professional development over the summer. All teachers by the end of the summer will possess a Google Certified Educator Level 2 licensure, which is pretty unique. We're pretty excited about that. It's a lot of work for the teachers over the summer, so we should applaud them for those efforts because we don't know what's going to happen. Thank you. I see some applause, some virtual applause. Silent. So we're excited about that, and we want to become, if we need to be, the online elementary leader in our area for education, for elementary education. So teachers are going to go through that process, learn all of the Google platforms, and be trained and certified as Google instructors, which is kind of cool. So now I'm going to pass it over to Larissa with some updates of her own.
Thank you, Paul. Hello, everybody. It's so good to see all of your faces. Just want to give you a couple of quick updates, and the first one is regarding enrollment. If you have not yet had a chance to return your Grow Summit tuition credit form, if you could please do so Thursday when you come for our drop-off and pickup day, that would be greatly appreciated. And I wanted to just say a special thank you to any of you who have been so kind to donate some of that Grow Summit tuition credit back to Summit. That really means a lot to us, and I just want to say thank you for that. We do still have openings in the school. Just this week, actually, we have started to receive inquiries again. So actually, we've had a handful, and we're excited about that and feel like things are promising. I feel like we've done a nice job of trying to spread the word of what all we've been able to do during this time of online learning, and I'm just hopeful that that word will excite other people to keep checking us out, because I think we've got a lot of good things going here. So if you wouldn't mind continuing to help us in that manner, spread the word, that would be greatly appreciated, and make sure that you mention about our new tuition that's been reduced. That would be fantastic. If you happen to be leaving at the end of this year and you would like to do an exit interview, if you would reach out to Paul or myself, we would love to get that set up and just talk with you about your experience at Summit, and just kind of put some closure on things. That would be great. In the development fundraising world, I wanted to say a special thank you to all of you who participated in any way with our fun run. We were able to raise $6,020, and it was really, really impressive in light of everything going on. Thank you to all who either participated being a donor, or if you were somebody helping to soak your family members, or if you got soaked, or if you ran or walked on the day of the fun run. I just want to say thank you for all that you did for that. So overall, our fundraising for this school year, our goal was $100,000, and so far we are at $93,000. So we're super close to meeting that goal, and I know we can do it. We've got an annual appeal letter that we'll be sending out shortly, and so hopefully we'll be able to meet that. Just wanted to also give you a heads up that our Celebrate Summit 2020 is going to be on November 13th, and in light of everything that's going on, we are actually shifting the event in our minds already to a virtual event, just trying to make sure that we've got our bases covered and can be working proactively on that at this point. So with that in mind, it's going to be a family-friendly event, and so just be watching for more details about that coming in August. We're pretty excited about it. So at this point, I'd like to introduce Chris Graf, and he's going to speak a little bit about some opportunities to give through our STO program. Chris?
Hi, thank you. Can everybody hear me okay? Excellent, sounds good. Well, first of all, I was one that got soaked, and it was not warm out, and the water came right from the hose. And someone was standing in the street watching me who also got soaked. I won't name names, but I later found out that the water came from his or her hot tub. So anyway, for the record. But anyway, I'm going to talk about STO. STO stands for School Tuition Organization, and it's a charitable organization, a 501c3. And there have been some changes over the last couple years. I'll try to keep this somewhat short, but I think it's a really good giving opportunity, not just for people who are directly involved with Summit Schools, but even those that are looking to give and receive some really good tax dollars back. But I didn't know a lot about STOs, so I thought I'd just kind of give a brief explanation. There's a couple rules that they have. One is that they must represent more than one school. So we are partnered with Scattergood, is our partner school, and so we are together this year trying to raise right around $66,000 to $67,000 in the STO fund. The STO fund, all the revenue that comes in, 90% of it must go out for tuition grants to families who attend accredited non-public schools represented by the STO. So it has to go to kids either going to Summit or Scattergood. The majority of the money goes to Summit just based on the size. I think, Larissa, you can correct me if I'm wrong, but I think around 70% or so comes to Summit. The rest goes to Scattergood. So the second thing I wanted to talk about is who gets these grants. I think this is really important because the people that get these grants are families whose income do not exceed an amount equal to 3 times the federal poverty guidelines. And so this year, 2020, and it goes by the size of the family. So for example, if it was a family of 3, the federal poverty guideline is $21,720. You multiply that by 3, So that would come out to just a little over $65,000. So as an example, that would be a family who might want to send their child or children to a non-public school if they thought that was the best fit for them. And even if they didn't have the income to pay for that, that's one way STO can help those families attend schools like Summit Schools. I think one of the things that I've heard the board talk about, and even Terry Peterson, one of the founders, is that, you know, Summit Schools is not and never was designed to be the school for where wealthy kids go. Although we have wealthy families, certainly in our school, we also have a very diverse group of different incomes, and that's something that's I know really important to the founders of the school and continues to be important for the board, that this is a school that's welcoming to all income levels. And so STO is a really big part of being able to provide that. So the last thing I wanted to talk about is how STO benefits a donor. And so I'm going to share my screen just because I think it's a little bit easier to walk through the math. So I did just a quick little Excel spreadsheet, if everybody can see that okay. And so in these numbers, if we just assume 30% federal tax bracket and 7% for Iowa, I want to talk about where STO has come over the last couple of years, because it's been kind of a pain point for us in 2019. So before 2019, if you made a $10,000 STO charitable gift or donation, you receive a Iowa tax credit of 65%. And so one of the main things to understand is the difference between a tax credit and a deduction is that a tax credit comes right off the actual tax due, where a deduction comes off the income of the donor. And so if you want to talk more about that, see me offline. But so right away, the donor here would get a $6,500 tax credit directly back on their taxes. And then in 2018 and previous, they could actually deduct the entire $10,000 for federal taxes as well. And if you're in a 30% tax bracket, that would save you $3,000 on your taxes. So the donor's tax reduction was $9,500. So basically a donor could give $10,000 and almost receive everything back in offset in their tax return. And so it was a very good place for those that wanted to donate, especially larger sums, to get some really good tax benefits. Well, 2019, the rules changed. And so what basically changed was this line item right here for the federal deduction amount. So instead of being able to deduct the entire $10,000 on your federal taxes, you could only deduct the difference between what you got in the Iowa tax credit and the amount of the gift. So in this case, the $2,500 here, or I'm sorry, $3,500 here is now deductible, and so that would end up saving a little over $1,000 in taxes. So the reimbursement to the donor, really dropped from 95% to 75%. Now, that is still an incredible incentive financially for any donor, because this would be a normal gift in 2019 and how that would be treated. So if a donor just made a gift to a charity like their church or just to Summit directly, they would receive about $3,700 in deductions, assuming those tax brackets, which is about a 37% kind of, I'm going to call it reimbursement or tax or percent of the gift that comes back to the donor. And so We, in 2019, really struggled to raise our STO funds. And we don't know exactly why that is. We're guessing that we had some large donors that after the rule changes, this wasn't as attractive. I still think it's a very attractive way to donate, but hopefully that's just a quick, short overview that, for every, say, $100 someone gives directly to the STO, you receive about $75 back in tax deduction, tax credit. So I think it's an extremely beneficial way for all of us to give money, including if we have connections with businesses or wealthier people who are looking for larger tax deductions than just a charitable deduction. It's a great way to do it. So again, we are looking to raise right around $66,000 for 2020. So if you want to talk further about that, you can certainly contact me, Larissa, Paul, anyone on the board. We'd be happy to talk to you about that. Or if you have connections that you think might be good for us to talk to about making a donation to the STO for Summit Schools, please reach out and let us know. So I think with that, that is all I have. And for some reason, I can't stop sharing my screen, so I will figure that out.
Thank you, Chris. I think
bet.
Kathleen is up next.
Hi, everyone. It is so good to see everyone's faces tonight, and we're looking forward to seeing all of you on Thursday. So Thursday is our drive-through service to pick up student belongings and to drop off anything that your kids may have still have from Summit. So I have sent out a few emails. We get started at 9 o'clock. Pod 1 will be from 9 to 10:30. Pod 2 from 10:30 to 11:30, and Pod 3, 11:30 to 12:30. The email I sent out today is probably our most important one because, nothing can be simple. They felt the need to block our street to the school doing some road construction projects, which are great. They're getting done. But the only way you can access Regent Street is off of Gulf Street. And that's the street, if you were to pull out of our parking lot and go right down Regent, you hit Gulf Street. And that's the very side of Knoll Ridge Park. And then you take that up to 42nd. That is the only way you can access. So if you usually come in Old Marion Road, you cannot get down Old Marion Road either direction to access Gulf Street. So you do have to be on 42nd Street, if that makes sense. I sent a map. Anyway, you'll get there. We'll see you there. We'll be there. Weather looks great. We hope that it will be smooth and hope to get to everyone quickly. And we just ask that you be mindful of our neighbors. It will be a little tricky since most people will be making a left into the parking lot now rather than a right. But we hope to keep the line moving and looking forward to seeing everyone. So thank you. Oh, who's next?
I think I am, Kathleen.
Okay.
I think I don't have
Jamie.
the outline in front of me, but well, actually, before I begin, if it would be all right for each of our 4 graduates to introduce themselves. I know not all of you, being the big kids in the school, all of you may not have had an opportunity to meet these fine folks. So if you would introduce yourself, and I'd ask them each to share a favorite memory from their time at Summit, and then also let you all know where their high school destination is next year. I didn't think about the order of things, so why don't I start with Aiden, and then Aiden, you can call on the next person.
My name's Aiden. My favorite memory from Summit is probably the debate team that we had for a while. That was fun. And I'm going to Kennedy High School. And then I guess Ian next.
Okay. Hi, I'm Ian. Although, yeah, anyways. I'm going to WASH, and I think my fondest memory at Summit is NaNoWriMo, which is National Novel Writing Month, for those of you who haven't heard of it. And just being able to work on my novel and looking around the room and seeing everyone else working on theirs and being very absorbed in them. And I'm really glad I was able to do that. Next, Haley.
One of my favorite memories was Lego League. My first year in Lego League, that was one of my favorite memories at Summit when we went to state. And then next year I'm gonna go to, I'm gonna go to WASH for high school.
Clapping.
Yes.
I guess that means Tommy, you're up next. Thanks, Haley.
My name is Tommy. My favorite memory is really the ski trips, the many ski trips we've been on. And I'm going to WASH next year.
Awesome. Thank you, guys. You did a great job. Before we all share a few words, I thought I would share a short little slideshow with some highlights of our from our 4 graduates. So we'll see how this share screen thing works. I'm a little worried, Chris, after yours froze on you, but I know this will work. So here we go.
There's Kristen. Oh no, that's Aiden.
So that was just a few of the highlights. This was a pretty amazing group, and they did some pretty amazing things over their last few years at Summit. And I thought I would also share a few words to honor them. But to begin with, for maybe this applies to all of us. I actually, for those of you who've been in my class or actually walked by in the hallway and heard me teaching, you know, poetry's a big deal in our class. So I thought I'd share a haiku that was written by a fellow 8th grade student from another school about a little bit about what this last couple of months has actually felt like. The student's name is Dylan Sant'Angelino, and he writes, "We were sick of school, then quarantine ended it. Now we want it back." And I think I can speak for us all that we all want school back, and I miss seeing everyone. And there's so much that we all want back, especially knowing how special those last few months at Summit are for our 8th grade students. I'm sorry to each of you that you've missed out on those experiences. But I really commend you for your willingness to adapt and change. And I have to say that about all of the Summit students. You are all amazing at your willingness to adapt and change to this new reality. Each of our 4 graduates I know will make Summit Schools proud as you all transition to high school in the fall. And the reason I know that, it's not just because of Summit, but it's also because of who they are as people, and that they will each bring the following to their next stops: a love and respect for learning, trust that the adults in their lives are there to support them, a willingness to ask questions, an ability to think outside of the box and also outside of the classroom, mindfulness, of course, and many other qualities that are immeasurable, but they will mark them as a Summit School graduate. We're happy that you will bring these gifts to a new place. And I'll close with a quote from Mr. Rogers, who sums it up by saying, often when you think you're at the end of something, you're at the beginning of something else. So congratulations, one and all. And I'm very excited to hear how things go for you heading into the future. And I know that you'll make Summit Schools proud and that you are tremendous representatives of all that we are at Summit. So I'm going to turn things over to Miss Teresa, who also has a few words to share with you all.
Well, I'm not going to take long, but remember, I've been with these kiddos for the last 2 years, and it's been incredible to see them grow, and new discoveries that they've made, leadership abilities that have come out, and new areas of interest that we've been able to bring out in them. I want to remind them to make sure as you're going off to high school that you remember who you are, be true to yourself, and take those opportunities that you're going to get in high school. Okay, really adapt to them like you've been doing. And as you can see with everybody who's shown up, Summit is a family, and with all families, we have a family atmosphere. Our door is always open for you to come back and visit us. So with that, I'm going to turn it over to Paul, who's going to present our graduates.
You actually took some of my speech. That's amazing. So I'd also like to say congratulations to our 8th graders. While this may not have been what you had envisioned, I guarantee that you're never going to forget it. Very rarely in life do you have the opportunity to stop and appreciate your accomplishments. This is a moment. So please feel free to pat yourself on the back, give yourself a high five. I'd like to, there you go, okay. And celebrate your achievement. I'd also advise that you turn to your supporting staff around you, also known as your family, and give them a huge hug. And say thank you. Choked up. It's pretty good. So if there's one thing that I have learned over the past 2 months, it's important. Community. Look at it. You've got 100 people in a chat room for you. Community is important. So, by the power invested in me, look at my scepter. By the power invested in me, and with the direction of the Department of Education and the state of Iowa, I now confirm your graduation from Summit Schools. Now go forward in the world and do right. And come back and visit. That's it. That's all you have to do. Do right and come back and visit. That's it. Congratulations. I have to pass it back to myself, apparently. My notes say pass back to self. So we have another graduation of sorts for our departing faculty and staff. I would like to thank our departing staff, Jamie, Ashley, and Andrew, for your service and your commitment to our school. We appreciate your work, and we're excited to hear about your new adventures, and we already miss you. So, gosh, emotional. Let's go to Kathleen for some Q&A.
Okay, it is time to answer any questions that you all might have. If you wouldn't mind just typing them into the group chat, and then I can call on you. Are there any questions this evening that we may or may not have answers for? Okay. Good question, Sharon. So the question is, I understand that things keep changing. What is the communication plan for letting families know what school will look like this fall?
Yeah, I mean, as we know, we'll let you know. We've kind of got some broad brushstroke as far as the potential to move our calendar a little bit. Cedar Rapids School District just put out an email yesterday to explain their calendar. So we will continue to monitor, whatever the recommendations are. And as soon as we know something, we'll put out communication. Obviously, it'll be via email. And I would say maybe a bi-weekly basis throughout the summer, unless we know something really, really important. Obviously, we'll let you know. That's the best we can do right now.
I also wanted to let the 8th graders know they have an envelope to open, and you guys can go ahead and open those. Michelle, I did get your private question. I'm sorry. Please go ahead and open those.
Do they get to reveal on screen?
They sure can.
Yeah.
Tell us what you won. Are there any other questions?
Hey, Kathleen, did you see Sarah Riley's question about will Summit be following CR School's plan for fall, or since Summit is a smaller school, we'll be able to make our own plan?
I'm sorry. Thank you, Chris. I missed that within
Yep.
all the congratulations there. Thank you. Yes. So, Paul, do we have an answer for that?
I think in a lot of our decisions, we do follow Cedar Rapids. This may be that one unique space that we have a little bit of flexibility. The hard part comes to contracts, teacher contracts, and our start dates are typically August 1st. We want to get a little professional development in there beforehand, and not knowing if we're in a virtual world or in a in a traditional classroom setting. So as those things start to unfold, and we know more about the restrictions that we may or may not have to go forward, we will have conversations. I would envision a conversation about that actually happening at next week's board meeting. Is something we'll put that on the table for discussion, or what our options are, and then kind of pick from that group of options. But again, until we know more, it's hard to make. It's kind of like we're making all of our decisions completely in the dark, which is not very settling, I'm sure, for you all as well as it is for an administrative school. So,
Thank you, Paul. Any other questions?
Dan has a question. Would anyone like a summer town hall?
Yes, I saw that. It looks like a thumbs up here from a few. A summer town hall, so we can all see one another. It's a possibility, right? We'll get back to you. Do any of the 8th graders want to show what was in their envelope? Any takers? Okay, so I think in the interest of time, if there are no more questions, and if you do think of a question, feel free to add it to the chat and we can always get back to you. I will now turn it over to Pally Afridi with our Summit Smiles.
Hello, everyone. So every month on the fourth Thursday of the month, we meet for our board meeting, which we'd really like you guys to join. It's an open board meeting. And at the end of our board meeting, we have a little bit of fun for a few minutes and we offer Summit Smiles. And Summit Smiles are just things that have happened in the week or the weeks before the board meeting to our families, our kids, our staff. And we just give a little smile to everyone and encourage, you know, what's going on at Summit. So if anybody has any Summit Smiles, please put your name in the chat box and let us know. Do you have a Summit Smile? She has a Summit Smile.
Mm.
I hear silence. Sorry.
I'll go. I have really enjoyed all of the videos and projects that have been shared with us via Flipgrid and Zoom and other things that our students have been making. So this week I've been watching all kinds of fun 1920s videos, from someone portraying Al Capone to a bootlegger to flappers to someone who just went through the crash of 1929. So the acting has been superb, and the use of with minimal props and liberal use of siblings to sprinkle into the videos have been really awesome to see. So it's been really one of my favorite things to watch. And tomorrow I'm really looking forward to my older students sharing a favorite nonfiction read, and also sharing a civilization that they made from scratch over the last month as they were quarantined at home. So that's my favorite thing this week.
I'll go too. Thank you for making my first year at Summit so enjoyable and welcoming, and I just feel loved here. So thank you.
Thank you, Emily. We love having you. And thank you for all your work on the summer camps. We couldn't have done it without you.
Thank you.
Allie, I'd like to add one, if I could. I'd like to thank Andrew and his students for the RATS presentation. That was incredible. Great use of technology, rising up to the challenge. It was a lot of fun to watch. So thank you so much, Andrew, and all the students that put that on.
Anybody else for a Summit Smile? Any kids for a Summit Smile? Well, I just want to say thank you to all the families, the children, the teachers, and the admin staff for going so smoothly online, something that we never predicted. And I think we've done a really good job, and we're in good stead for if we have to do it again. Thank you.
Okay, I'll close it out. And everybody keeps stealing my lines. It's as if you have my script. Thank you all for being here tonight. Please look in your email for a special announcement regarding the official last day of school, which is Friday. Please check your email for that. That's not there yet, but it will be soon. I would be remiss if I did not say thank you yet again to our teachers with 1 day's notice, starting to turn over curriculum into a virtual platform. We were leaps and bounds and way ahead of a lot of other places, and I'm very appreciative of that, and it was amazing, so thank you. Again, thank you to our community for your continued support and trust in what we do. And we look forward to meeting your expectations of excellence. And we wish you all a very happy and very safe, healthy summer. So we'll get through this together, and we'll better on the other side. So take care of each other. Thank you.